How's everybody doing? Well, we are going to do another one today. And today we're doing incompatibility of signs. We are doing start with a minute. I gotta make sure. We're doing today Capricorn and Sagittarius. By popular demand, some of you have been dying for this combination. So I'm going to do part 1 and part 2 today. Capricorn and Sagittarius. It's only fair since I spoke about Leo and Capricorn, and I used the analogy of nature of the volcano. Well, I'm going to use the same analogy of the volcano with this combination. Remember, Leo and Capricorn, the core of the fire that stays within the volcano is Leo, fixed fire. Even though the molten core of our planet is attributed to Sagittarius, mutable fire, useful fire. But that is a misnomer. It really should stay Leo. And if the fire erupts from within the earth, from within the bowels of the earth, out into the atmosphere, then it becomes Sagittarius. Mutable fire. Fire that can be manageable. Fire that can be used and fire that can be extinguished. Like the fires burning through California, the forest in California, that's Sagittarius fire. It's not Leo. And it's not Aries. It's Sagittarius fire. It's mutable fire, which could be controllable or uncontrollable. So with this combination, we're going to use the same analogy of the volcano, but this time we're going to focus on the pyroclastic flow of the fire that flows out of the volcano in the form of mud and debris, burning through the village and killing and destroying everything in its sight. That is Sagittarius and Capricorn. And this is incompatibility of signs. Both are a elemental square and also a modality square. So by all intents and purposes, this combination should not work. But you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Woo! I can't start without my cocktail. Now, this delicious cocktail is called Lollipop because I've actually used bubble gum and certain candy. You know, the Halloween candy, the leftover Halloween candy. Now, I select a few of them. Some of them are mint. Some of them are herbal type of mints and candy. And I put it in, then I let it ferment. You see that? I let it ferment. Then I put some ginger. I put a little bit of Pepsi, some vodka and lime. Ooh, delicious. You don't even think you're drinking alcohol. And then, pow, it hits you. We call it a creeper. So, let's jump right in. Because this combination is heavy. And it's a lot to cover with this combination. It took me forever to do this combination because it's a lot to... You can go many directions with this combination. Right? One of the things of this combination is that Sagittarius... Let me put it to you this way. This combination, if I'm to use another analogy to nature, it would be the horse that roams and roams and roams and roams on the field. You know, if you know anything about breeding horses, horses is an expensive business. Definitely a sport of kings. Okay? For the wealthy. You can't be poor and raise horses. It's just not going to happen. So you have to understand that when you have a thoroughbred, and I'm doing that for just selection, but I don't even have to go that specific. Just having horses. I mean, I have horses in my home, in my ranch by the Dominican Republic. You know, I never mounted a horse when I was there. Funny, I learned to do that here, but not in my own country. But I know the hard work that it takes to rally horses and feed them and maintain them and allow them to run and roam. And one thing about horses, if you know anything about breeding horses, is that they have to be maintained. But the maintenance, when they're gated and where they're not allowed to run out of control, has to be extremely expansive. We're talking about acres, if not mileage, where the horses can run free. That is the spirit of Sagittarius, which is symbolized by the horse, the centaur, the fence that surround the horses so they can roam free is Capricorn. Capricorn sets the boundary for Sagittarius to run free. Get it? And we're talking about nature. We can attribute this also to outer space. In outer space, you have what I call shooting stars. They're very rare, but they're not rare. They're happening all the time. It's rare when we see them, our ocular view, right? It's also rare to look at a telescope and see the planet and see volcanic eruptions coming out of the planet. I was watching the planet Venus in my telescope in the backyard, in my brother's backyard in Chelmsford, and we actually saw the planet spewing volcanic ash into space from the planet. It was beautiful, fantastic. Now, that is also attributed to Sagittarius. A shooting star is Sagittarius. It's a burning star. It's fire. It's mutable fire. And it's not something that we see every day. And we can't predict it. We don't know when it's going to show up. And just, oh, look at shooting star. Ooh, and before you know it, it's gone. That's Sagittarius. Mutable fire. Fixed fire is all the stars that are still visible in the night sky. Stars that are billions and billions of years old. That the exploding stars of those constellations are just now reaching us in the billions of years. So that is Leo, fixed fire, the fiery constellations. And then the light and mere beauty of all of the stars that populate the dome of outer space is attributed to Aries, the one that through his semen populated the universe with his fiery cardinality. And that's how you mix all three fire signs together. So, having said that, how do we attribute this combination to the personality and ego of the human being down below? So that will be the basis of what we are going to discuss today. We are going to discuss mutable fire and cardinal earth. This combination is a little tricky. A little tricky. A little tricky. We're gonna have to. You have to understand that this is one of those combinations where it depends on your level of maturity, right? Your level of maturity, it depends, and also your age, your level of education, your socioeconomic background. No. All of that plays a role. All of that plays a role. if you are an intrinsically good person or not. You know? And of course, when we're dealing with a Capricorn man and a Sagittarian woman, it's different than if it was a Sagittarian man and a Capricorn woman. Distinctly different. Distinctly different. Okay? And one of the ways in which they are different is that, remember, Capricorn deals with self-preservation. Well, first of all, let me discuss it in compartments. If we're dealing with a couple that's below age 30, anything goes. The Capricorn man, well, let's go with the Capricorn man. The Capricorn man is complex and identifying him. You think the Capricorn woman is difficult to identify? The Capricorn man is worse, especially when they're young. Because the Capricorn man comes in different types. Like Virgo, it's Earth. And Earth can be tricky, demonic, and changeable. And this is true of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The one, of course, being the most changeable and the most demonic of the three is being Virgo, because it's a mutable earth sign. Most mutable signs, mutable fire, earth, water, and air, are considered highly demonic because they're changeable. And they can go from polarity to polarity of good and absolute evil. This is Virgo stands in between Taurus and Capricorn. Okay? Pisces stands in between Cancer and the other water sign. I'm forgetting it now. Scorpio. Right? And then you have Gemini standing in between Cardinal Libra and fixed Aquarius. And then you have mutable fire, Sagittarius, standing between Cardinal Aries and fixed fire of Leo. So the mutable signs act as intermediaries to the polarities of the other signs within its own element. Virgo is the polarity point of Taurus and Capricorn. Gemini of Libra and Aquarius. Pisces of Cancer and Scorpio, and Sagittarius of Aries and Leo. So the mutable signs are the polarity point of the two opposing signs within its own element. So the mutable signs are a point of balance. That all goes out the window when we're dealing with Capricorn, the devil. Capricorn, who's the boss? Who's the boss? In this sense, if we're dealing with both the Capricorn man or the Capricorn woman, it will be both the Capricorn man and the Capricorn woman. Both of them will be the boss and in control. As a very powerful cardinal earth sign, they are going to control Sagittarius. And here lies the problem, which can lead to another War of the Roses. You cannot bind Sagittarius. You can't control him or her. A good swift kick from a horse can kill you. Be careful. Sagittarius doesn't have to respect, and usually doesn't respect, the doctrines and codes of Capricorn. In the end, the universe will force Sagittarius to bow down to Capricorn because it's a cardinal sign. So we must bow down and obey. Because the cardinal signs are the movers and shakers of the zodiac and set the order of our known universe. So in the end, we're going to have to concede to the Earth King or the Earth Queen of Capricorn. And that's going to be a problem for Sagittarius. Woo! That alone is for me to do a hit and a drink. Woo! Okay. Let's begin with the Capricorn man and the Sagittarian woman. Okay? If we're dealing with a couple below age 30, there really won't be a distinction of behavior between the two. Remember, one precedes the other. You have Sagittarius and then Capricorn follows. So in the individual birth chart, you might have planets, overlapping in each of these signs, making these two signs kind of rather similar. And if we look to esoteric astrology, we find that there is a connection between these two, but more so Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. The last three triad before going back to God is highly esoteric and highly spiritual. But that's esoteric astrology. We won't discuss that now. Maybe I'll do a series about it, so you all be interested. Remember, I'm getting ready to do the moon sign, because a lot of you, by popular demand, want a moon sign and also a cusp. So these are things that I'm putting in development. So when you're dealing with a young couple, it can be either or. With a Sagittarius, it almost absolutely will have to do with freedom. But the freedom to do bad too. Freedom to do what he wants and not give accountability of what he does. And that's not right. That ain't right. That ain't right. But that's the case. That's the case with Sagittarius. That's the case with Capricorn. Right? Now, and when you're young, you have to you do your own thing. You play the role, because with this combination, when you're a young Capricorn, you want to be old and you want to be an adult. When you get old, you want to be young. So Capricorn takes life a little seriously, even when he's young. And that might upset the Sagittarian. She'll be impressed by it because he'll be the anchor that will allow her to run free. But then after a while, Capricorn doesn't concede. For a cardinal sign, Capricorn acts very fixed sometimes. He won't change his way of behaving and his way of being. He's certainly not going to change his constitution. Not for you or anybody. And that makes him rather fixed. A lot of astrologers don't talk about that about Capricorn. Capricorn does have a fixity nature about him because he won't compromise and he won't change. Despite being a cardinal sign. Because being a cardinal sign also means that you have the ability to move from cardinality to mutability to fixity. But Capricorn stays fixed. He won't compromise. And that might disappoint the Sagittarian woman, because we're dealing with a Capricorn man with a Sagittarian woman. If they're below age 30. He will be the one that will be more uptight than she. Now, let's bring it up to past age 30. By age 30, the Capricorn man won't change. He'll start morphing in his 40s. And now he's going to start acting young and seeking young women. Because when they're young, they seek older women. When they're older, they seek younger women. It's an opposite shift with Capricorn. Ladies, beware. So then what do? The Sagittarian woman, again, we're dealing with a couple past age 30. By that point, there has to be a mutual reception of acceptance and also a willingness to adapt to changing trends. The one that can lead the way on that is Sagittarius, mutable fire, where it has the ability to change. It can morph, you know? Capricorn will simulate change. He will act the part because he doesn't want to be as socially inept as he already is. So he'll play the role. But in his heart, he's not going to feel a part of that. Capricorn is Capricorn. He's going to stay austere and reserved and self-preserving. If he appears the opposite, understand that he's playing a role so he can appear less uptight and not cause uncomfortability to those around him. Because he already feels uncomfortable enough as it is. Even though I said that the Capricorn man and the Capricorn woman are in control and they're the boss, when it deals with or when it comes with mundane matters. But when it comes to matters of the heart, Capricorn, even though they have a clue, even though they do have a clue and they know more than you think and more than they're willing to admit, the issue is that Capricorn can be very, very insecure. Now, a lot of people will give me beef the fact that I just said that. Oh, Capricorn is tough. That's the devil. How dare you say that? No. Capricorn is very sensitive, very vulnerable. That doesn't take away from his cardinality of being the boss and being, the one in charge. That doesn't mean, that has nothing to do with the inner sensitivity that still binds us all together and makes us human. And sometimes it's difficult for Capricorn to feel that he needs to be human. He needs someone that can put him in his place and refuse to let him run over that person. Capricorn seeks strength outside of himself. The problem is that Capricorn is that symbol of strength. There is no other sign of the zodiac that can match his strength beyond him. After Capricorn, you have Aquarius and then Pisces. These two signs are concerned with surrendering and going back to God. So the real honcho here when it comes to mundane matters and mastery of the material world, to the point where now you want to leave and go back to God, is Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign of initiation. Initiation of the mysteries and of beginning the commencement of returning back to God. It's deep. It's deep and deeply esoteric. Don't sleep on Capricorn and spirituality and esotericism. Ooh! Don't do it. Here's the thing. Sagittarius don't give a shit about none of that. He or she, they don't give a shit about that, about Capricorn. Okay, that's cool, Capricorn. It's all right. Okay, cool. But they don't care. They don't have to care. But then again, neither does Capricorn. And Capricorn can be very cruel at this. But so can Sag. So here again, we have contenders. Just like Leo and Capricorn. We're dealing with two fire signs. One is fixed and one is mutable. But fire is fire. And Capricorn don't change for nobody. So, this combination is going to require, like the Leo and Capricorn, a certain meeting of the mind. And there has to be a sense of respect. Okay? Now we're done with this combination. Now I gotta say that if you all want a personal reading or a birth chart, just call me and set an appointment. I will be leaving to Africa this Sunday. So get your bid in. Call me 347-485-6258. I feel so cheesy doing that, but I gotta do it. All right, we're done with this combination.